Here. So in this video, I wanted to do a kind of like a commentary play-by-play explanation of how the Lake of Shadows GM boss fight is supposed to work without the cheese. So getting right into it, there is a health gate right off the rip, and you can see in my solo clear that I hit that, and you're going to get two sets of scions that spawn in. So there's these ones with a ravenous orange bar scion, and then there's three more on the other side of the room, and then there's this knight. He always spawns there. The knights, actually all the ads in this boss room always spawn in the same places. And then these crystals that I'm shooting, they spawn in every 40 seconds. So they're on a time gate, where the scions and all the other enemies, they're on boss health gate. So there were some scions behind me. They spawn over on the side that I just was on, and then those other ones that I took out. So grapple grenades are really good for dealing with them, as you could see. And then I had Maelstrom. And then I also have Threaded Spectre for making a decoy, which is really nice. Again, this is solo. If you're in a team, you could basically just assign three people, like one here. This is where the scions spawn. And then they spawn to my left over there. And then there's the crystals again. And then there's the knight that spawns in. So each fire team member could just be responsible for dealing with one of them. And then take them all out. So there, I just want to rewind this part. So what the boss does is when you deal damage to him, he's going to put his shield up. This is something I had to learn kind of the hard way. But yeah, so I shoot and then stop shooting. If you keep shooting, he's just going to keep shielding the whole time. But then you can resume shooting and get in some good damage. So as soon as he shields, just stop and he'll put his shield down. If you keep shooting, then he just stays shielded forever, which is really bad with my Lucky Pants build. So there, I just hit a health gate from the Threaded Spectre. So I just want to look at the health gate here. It's about 60% of his first health bar. Now, I like going off the health bar above his head because it's a little more accurate, at least for me. You can go by the bottom health bar as well. But so here I thought that I was going to hit the health gate and that these ads would spawn. That's why I dodge with my Threaded Spectre, because that's going to make a decoy for the scions that spawn in, and they don't come. But the problem was that decoy then brought the boss over, and then when he destroys it, it creates two little threadlings, and those threadlings just pushed him over to the damage gate. So that almost cost me well, it could have cost me a death because I wasn't ready for the ads. Here I was going to wait the 40 seconds to get the crystals to spawn in, shoot them, and then deal more boss damage. Because you do not want the crystals spawning in when the enemies spawn in. So this time the knight spawns over there, and this is why I was running Queen Breaker. And then I take damage from that blight thing behind me, so I just pop my super, and now you can see those crystals are spawning in. So what I would have done was waited for those crystals to spawn in, take them out, and then deal boss damage to get him to his next health gate for the ads to spawn in. That way I have 40 seconds to deal with the ads when there's no blight on the ground, because that blight will kill you. And I'll show you an example of it killing me at the very end on my run before I actually beat it, which was extremely frustrating, as you can imagine, because it takes like 40 minutes to get to that point in the boss fight. So luckily, that's why I keep my super for bad situations like that. And it's really good to use your super for the scion waves, because the scions will duplicate. So unlike Birthplace of the Vile, where the last part of the boss room is by far the hardest, like the third phase, the first two phases on this boss I find the hardest, because the scions can shoot you. After this, there's going to be thralls that spawn, and the thrall, they just chase you and will deal melee damage. So you can basically just outrun them or group them up and shackle grenade them. Like, they're easy to deal with. Where the scions, they shoot at you. So that is obviously not ideal because you're running around getting shot. Where with thrall, you're just running around, and as long as you stay airborne, basically, they're not going to be able to shoot you. So here I am. I'm waiting for the crystals. I really like to spawn here because I can see all four very easily. The one to my right there is hard to see from like this side of the boss room. And also the boss room spawns like day and night for some reason. So if you get the night spawn, it's really hard to see that one. And luckily I got the day spawn here. So again, I'm just trying to put in damage. So I mentioned the Scions spawn at about 15 to 20% of that very first health bar. And then it's 60%. So now we're on to the second health bar. We get the Thrall to spawn. I get a melee kill, which spawns my Maelstrom. And then I move to the spot that I like to shoot the crystals because I know it's coming. I blinded that knight. And so the Maelstrom did a whole bunch of work for me. Now I make a Threaded Spectre to decoy the boss. And then we use our powerful hand cannon with Lucky Pants to take out the knight, which I blinded with Queenbreaker. Again, you don't need Queenbreaker and all this stuff. This is for solo because you have many things to juggle. In a team, like I said, one guy can you could like just grapple the knight and take him down easily while your teammates are taking out the enemies. So again, that 40-second timer is on. So anytime so there they are. There's the crystals after 40 seconds. So anytime I take out ads, I know that clock is ticking. So once all the ads are done, I just wait for those crystals to reset. And then I take them out quickly like I just did there. And now I'm ready for boss damage. So if we look at the bottom health bar, the ads aren't going to spawn until I believe he's just over half. And then if it's at the top health bar, again, it's about 60% of his top health bar on the second one. So let's see if I can rewind there quickly because I just got a brief glimpse at his health bar above his head, which was what I was looking for. And now he spawns these little immunity orbs. So yeah, we're only about 40% of his second bar. Whoa, sorry about the VLC there. So yeah, he spawns those little orbs and they can just be one shot with this sidearm. They're pretty weak. So again, I was waiting for the crystals. Basically, I get in one set of damage, and if it doesn't spawn the ads, then I'm gonna wait for the crystals because you do not want those crystals spawning when the ads are in here. So there, I got him just below 50% on his other one, and that's why I kind of shook my head, because again, I thought I was going to deal enough damage to get the next ad wave. And unfortunately, now I don't have a dodge to distract the Thrall. So again, we're just going to regroup. Let him shoot his thing. So yeah, in a team, it's going to be really easy to hit these gates, and also in a team, the quicker you hit those gates, the more enemies you're going to spawn. So if you had like a Well of Radiance, you could just cast that, deal his whole first third of his health, and then just take out both sets of Scions all at once, both sets of Knights, and be done with it. But in a team, it's a little different. So there, I popped my Threaded Spectre, and I'm trying to get a Maelstrom. So my first priority was to blind that Knight, and then I quickly dodge to get that Maelstrom, and then it's going to take out a bunch of the other ads. And when I dodge, that's also distracting those Thrall. So again, this build was pretty much crafted for the boss room. So here, I want to get that Knight down quickly, because as long as no ads are on the field, this Blight isn't like the end of the world. And there, I might have got some health back because I have recuperation on my boots. Again, everything was spec'd for this boss room. Not so much for like speedrunning the rest of the strike. So that was both sets of Thrall. So now we're going to get to the final third of the health bar, and it's going to be goblins. So here, again, there's the Knight. And then I didn't have my Lucky Pants to take them out quickly. Sorry, I guess there's 3 sets of Thrall. My mistake. So right when you hit that third health bar, there's going to be a third set of Thrall. So I just take him down, and I have my super just in case of emergencies, basically. I'm trying not to pop it, and there I knew I was like under control. I just had to get that Knight down, and that's why I threw my my melee at it, because it would make a Maelstrom, and then that dealt with the Thrall. So now, once we do a little bit of damage on his third health bar, it's going to spawn in these goblins and a Knight. And there's 2 goblin spawns. There could be more, but I always just kill right away after the second set of goblins. But this is where they don't spawn on health gates. So this one does. This one spawned on a health gate. But the next set is on a timer, I believe, which really messes me up. And it actually killed me the run before, which I'll show you here. So we take those things out quickly. And now we're going to deal with the knight. But here come the goblins, even though I've done no damage to the boss. So that's what leads me to believe that that one is just on a timer. See, there's no knight with that spawn. So that one's just on a timer to spawn in with the crystals. And then from there, I think you're home free. I don't think more goblins spawn, but basically from here you can melt. So just quickly, I'm going to tab over, jeez, and show you what happened on my other run. So I was expecting those goblins to be on a health gate and not a time gate. So I have some orbs there, and I have picking up an orb of power will give you woven mail. So I was really keen on getting those orbs just because I'm like that. I'm sort of like OCD, and yeah, like I want to pick up all the ammo. I want to pick up all my orbs. I don't like leaving anything, but sometimes that gets me killed in solo GMs because I need to just learn to live with it. So here I am doing a bit of damage, but nothing that would trigger a health gate. And again, after roughly 40 seconds from that initial crystal spawn, see, the goblins just spawned in there. I'm not looking, but they just spawned in. And here's what screws me. So when you hit immunity with Queenbreaker, it doesn't blind anything. So now they're shooting at me, and I've got taken miasma on the floor. And I was in a horrible position to shoot them all. And then I get booped and caught up on here. And just like that, I'm dead. Because I can't regen my health, I'm taking damage from the floor, I'm taking damage from the goblins, all because I wasn't ready. And another thing with the crystals is they spawn, so there, they spawn at about 47:54. So they spawn every 40 seconds, not when they're killed, but just every 40 seconds. So if you take like 20 seconds to get them down, you're gonna get another in 20 seconds. So what did I say, 54? So that wasn't even quite 40 seconds. Maybe it was more like 50. So 40 seconds after I took out those last crystals, I'm getting more crystals and the goblins. So that's what leads me to believe it's on a health gate. Or, sorry, a time gate and not a health gate. This is for the last ads only. All the other ones are on health gates. So now we dealt with those goblins, and now we're pretty much home free. So I'm just trying to deal my damage. Again, wait. Here I'm taking no chances. I could have gotten a little more damage with my Lucky Pants quickly, but I just wanted to get those crystals down. We reset. I load my gun. I rotate away from the boss. I've just taken out the crystals, so I know I'm good to do DPS. And then we're going to do... So there, I proc his shield with my sidearm. And then I stop shooting, and then I get in some more damage, and then we just super to finish. So that is the rotation of how this boss room works. Again, all the ads always spawn in the same parts of the GM. Like the knight's always on the same pillars every phase. So that's how it works. I hope it was helpful and informative. And if it was, then a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Take care.